What's up, folks? At this moment in time, I know we all a little bit upset about what's going on and how we still being treated out here. I've noticed a lot of comments about the riots, and some are for it, some against it, and the riots that are in Minnesota right now. I understand we all upset, and when people get upset, they react to what they know. Like when you're angry, you do what you think you know to do. You just react. There's really no thought process behind it. You're making moves out of anger. In my opinion, there's a more effective and efficient way to go about getting any kind of reform you want, especially when you're talking about police officers. We just have to learn more. We got to learn more about what's going on. They'll say, well, we have rights. Well, if you ask them, what's the Ninth Amendment? What's the 16th Amendment? What's the 21st Amendment? What's the Third Amendment? A lot of people would have to Google it. Like, you know you have rights, but do you know the rights? Do you know what they are? Especially with us being black. Do you know how many rights you got? Like, this is what we have to do. First of all, we think a police officer's job is to protect and serve. That is a slogan that was created by, I believe it was the Los Angeles Police Department back in like the 1950s or some sort. It was a contest to see who could come up with the catchiest motto. It had no meaning. An officer won it. He put to protect and to serve or something like that, and he won. And then they put it on the side of their police cars, and they had it up on posters while they was training people. And then the rest of the country started to use it in their own terminology: to serve and protect, to protect and serve. So we think it's to protect and to serve that have property or have the power to punish people that have damage property or damage somebody. It's not what that means at all. The police's job is pretty much to protect commerce. Anybody that got a business can be protected. But with us, we have to figure out, where does a police officer get his power from? Where is his authority? He's a public servant, so why is the public getting their asses whooped? So you have to think to yourself, what can we do to change the reform of how these police officers are doing the stuff they're doing, the training that they're about? Like, the reason that they have the right to use so much force is because every police officer ain't a certified black belt. They're not martial artists. So a smaller cop is going to have trouble with a bigger dude, a bigger adversary. They're going to have trouble taking them down, which is why you always see one cop pull over somebody or apprehend somebody, but they call more because they going to need help with this nigga. Now, where does a police officer get his authority from? Usually it's from the state. The states got their power because they came up with a group back in the day called the AntiFederalists. It's a group that they made up because they feared through the 10th Amendment that they didn't want the federal government to have so much power over everything. So they made this group to say, well, now the states can legislate their own laws. We can vote for governors and do all of this type of stuff on our own, so that you don't need the federal government for everything that's going on in your society. So how do we get our power within the state, within the federal government? We have to do more research on how do we gain our power back. Riots ain't gonna cut it. All the riots is gonna do is ask the states to get the federal government involved, and now you got military rolling your streets to apprehend and protect those who aren't rioting. They're going to use more aggression towards your aggression. They got more firepower than you got. We need to think of a better way to improve our situation. First thing we got to do is a little bit more research on how we can gain power. How do we get the power? What is a citizen? Look on your driver's license and go in the law book and look up what class means. Look up what rank means. And then you'll realize you ain't got that much power, because a class and a rank is usually for dealing with military soldiers and people of the government. We got to stop talking community talk, and we got to start studying law talk. It seems like the only niggas studying law is the niggas in jail. When the free niggas out here getting their asses whooped, we don't know nothing. We need to learn more law. Once you learn the law, you can see how they navigate it, and when they change the law and move the goalposts as you trying to kick your field goal, you can see they're moving it so you can navigate. The law ain't about right or wrong. It's who can paint the best picture, and then the judge goes by that. The ruler goes by that. So put a paintbrush in your hand, go do some research, and see where we can gain our power back. It's not by just going out there in the group and throwing rocks at shit and burning shit. So we got to get smarter with how we react to. I know we angry. I know all of that. I know all of that. But we can channel our anger to a way where we can whoop their ass with this right here. This is the best way to whoop ass. Let me just talk for a minute about the amendments in the Constitution, okay? I don't care how many they are. It's only a certain few that I'm worried about that deal with us. And I will break it down like this. The Constitution has ratified amendments, and then it has unratified amendments. A ratified amendment is something that Congress deems fit to send a proposal to the state legislators so that they can have ratifying conventions and get this amendment ratified. And once an amendment is ratified, that means it is indistinguishable. You can't do nothing with it. It is equal with the Constitution. You can't change it. This is set in stone. They have some ratified amendments. The ones I'm worried about are unratified. That means they can change them, they can alter them, they could nitpick at what they like about it and leave the rest out. There are 6 unratified amendments, 2 of which don't even matter anymore. They have to do with the nobility of congressmen or Congress and titling of Congress. That's out of the way because it was something about one can represent a certain amount of people until the representatives reach the number of 100. Well, that's out of the way because there are more than 100 House of Representatives now. So that's why those are unratified. The ones I'm worried about are equal rights. It's unratified as an amendment, which means they can change it or do with it whatever the hell they choose. The child labor law, which states how old or young you can be before they start sticking utensils in your hand before you can start making money for them. And then the third one is the Voting Rights Amendment. Those 3 deal with us a great deal. So if those are like willy-nilly amendments where they can be changed at any time, we need to pay attention to these type of things. Moving the goalposts. They can move the goalposts anytime they feel like it when you're trying to kick your ball. So we need to understand the best ways to go about doing things. It ain't about that riot. It ain't about that riot. We didn't riot it before. We didn't riot it before. Look, the only measurables from a riot that you can get instantly is the total of damage that's going to get done, how many people are going to become injured, and how many people are going to end up dead. And then those that aren't injured and dead, how many of them going to be in jail? Those are the instant measurables. Blazing the whole city up in flames is not going to have the next city willing to open their doors for you. It's not us that's the problem. You're trying to change the mind of someone that has the problem. Throwing rocks at them and throwing bottles and cocktail bombs, that ain't going to change their mind. They just going to be like, see, this is why I say shoot them all. This is exactly why I say shoot them all right here. They don't know how to act. They're going to flip it on us. Just because you angry and you want to show them you angry and you just feel like whooping some ass. Well, let me give you some news. If I put you in front of a Klansman and I let you just haul ass on him, just left hook, right hook, uppercut, all he going to say is, well, that did hurt, nigger. It's not going to change his mind. We got to do something else. I'm trying to come up with resolutions in this, and then we can use comments and we can brainstorm or we need to do something else. It's power in numbers, but it's not the numbers of vigilantes. It's the power of wisdom. The number in the people with wisdom. We can come up with the solution without our own people getting hurt from the stuff we're doing. That's all I'm saying. We need to come together, come up with plans. Ain't no plan in no riot. As soon as somebody breaks something, everybody else gonna start breaking. That ain't no plan. You just following suit. We need to come up with a better plan. We got to get smarter with how we react to. I know we angry. I know all of that. I know all of that. But we can channel our anger to a way where we can whoop their ass with this right here. This is the best way to whoop ass. We need to be more militant with this though. Why can't we be militant with this? Well, we got to be militant like this. Hit them where it hurt.